help you to live life inspired. It is Manifestation Monday. Yay! And last week we talked a little bit about can you manifest anything? Can I manifest anything? I get that question all the time. And so we talked about that, and I talked about be careful, because sometimes what you're seeking to manifest, you might not want it the way that it's going to come to you. Also, you can manifest things that you actually probably don't need and shouldn't desire, and that is that's the basis of the law of attraction. Right? The law of attraction works no matter what. It's always going to work. It's just always going to work. The answer is always yes, no matter if you're manifesting something negative or something positive. So I wanted to kind of piggyback off of that, because there's been a lot of discussion lately on whether or not the law of attraction is correct in a religious setting, a religious perspective. Whether that manifestation is correct from a religious perspective. And I don't typically get off into this. I typically just talk about the principles and how they work and how they can be employed, and how to keep your energetic and vibrational levels high in order to manifest or bring into your life or live the most excellent life that you can live. The life that you came here to live. Recently, though, on my other channel, I did discuss Jeremiah 1:5, where God tells Jeremiah, it's an Old Testament verse, God tells Jeremiah, I knew you before you were conceived, before you were in the womb. I set you apart, and I ordained you to be a prophet to the people, right, to the nations, is what Jeremiah 1:5 specifically says. That verse there, to me, sets in motion this concept that we had some sort of conversation and interaction with Creator, with God, before we got here. And He, therefore, we had this conversation, and there's a life purpose, and we discussed what that life purpose for this lifetime would be. I mean, remember, that verse had to be written 3,000 years ago, roughly, or spoken, not the actual verse written. And that we had this discussion, there was this decision, there was this joint effort made, but that at some point we had to be reminded of it, because otherwise, if we just knew it all the time, then there wouldn't be any need for God to have said to Jeremiah at that point, I knew you before, this is what I've set you aside to do, what you've been ordained, called to do, set apart to do. Now, I'm putting that in this context. That there is one of the life purpose concepts that we talk about in spirituality that rings true. There's others, and this manifestation concept is one of them. Ask, right? You shall receive. Where two or more agree on any one thing in my name, there I am. There am I also. You speak to the mountain, and the mountain moves. What do we think that Jesus did when he turned water into wine? The loaves and fishes miracles, and other miracles afterwards that the apostles did in the early church did, and all the way up until now. I mean, there's a whole host of teaching, and I grew up in this teaching of name it and claim it, right? Well, what is naming it and claiming it? It's the same thing as the law of attraction, people. It's just a different word, different terminology. You speak something out, right? You say, this is what I want up here. You speak it out and you add your faith to it. What's faith? What's faith? The evidence of things unseen, right? It's our hope. It's our belief that God is going to provide for us. The only difference is that now I teach it from the perspective that we, which we always were, I can go down through all sorts of Bible verses if you would like. And if you want to, feel free to ask. Because all through the Bible there is, Old and New Testament, plenty of examples of manifestation. It's just not called manifestation. There's plenty of examples of the law of attraction. For instance, the Bible admonishes men to not lust after another man's wife, or to lust after anyone that's not his wife, because it is as if he has committed adultery, or he's already fornicated in his mind if this act is on his brain. Well, why would that be? Because what we keep in our mind, we tend to manifest. Because that's the vibration we're operating at. Why are we told to guard our heart and to keep, we're taught, and especially in the New Testament, to maintain a proper thought life, to maintain a positive thought life, to maintain our thoughts on godly things, right? That's what we're taught to do if we're Christians. So I am speaking to those that have a basis in Christianity, but the same principle is in just about any religion, so take this out and insert here. I'm just putting it down. The problem is that the dogma and the separation that we've had amongst all is that the dogma of I'm right and you're wrong. My way is the only path, the only way to get to know God. How narrow. How narrow-minded. And how rather egotistical to think that God, the God that created the universe, this universe and many others, is so small that he would not provide other methodologies to get to know him. Fine. That's what you want to believe. Feel free. I, though, do not. Now, let's get back to manifestation in the Bible. Manifestation is all through the Bible. The whole prosperity movement is all law of attraction and manifestation, only utilizing biblical terminology. And I will say that it's probably even a little bit more dangerous, because what happens is people get off into this whole, and I've seen it, I've experienced it, it's been said to me, so you can try to say whatever you wish, and this might be a little confrontational, but you're right, I am, because there's a message that has to get out here, and it's a message of inclusion and not exclusion, and it's a message of don't judge and don't cast dispersions on others that term the same thing you're doing it, but package it differently. As long as we're all serving the same God, that's what matters. As long as we're all serving love, because God is love, and light, because God is light, then that's what matters. So in the prosperity movement, 70s, 80s, 90s, you know, if you weren't driving fancy cars and you didn't have a big house, and you weren't believing for your personal airplane, you know, it was a problem. And then there was the problem on the other side of where different ministers would get these things, and then it was, well, they're living outside of what God intended. They're heretical. So the Christian church couldn't even decide what it wanted to do in the first place. My point is this: the principles work no matter what. Spiritual law is spiritual law no matter what. God is the God of order, and creation was created by sight, speech, vibrational sound creates. Sight, God saw that the earth was void and without form. Speech, he spoke, let there be light. Vibrational energy, and there was light. And then the earth was created, and the animals and everything was created. Only he shaped man. He didn't just speak man into his existence. He shaped man in his own image and likeness. Therefore, we are co-creators. And I hope I don't have to go over this again at some point. I really do. But I'm going to go over it now because I'm not going to deal with it. I need to shake some foundational beliefs here. And I do believe that there are some that are, especially in the charismatic church, which has a much deeper understanding of the spiritual, right, than a lot of the other denominations or non-denominational denominations, if you will. Much more deeper understanding, and that's just because of the basis of the charismatic church itself on the whole. And definitely the prosperity movement group has a very deep understanding of it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you within your spirit and in your time in communicating with God via meditation or meditation and prayer or meditation and talk time or however you want to say it, in allowing your spirit to truly commune with your co-creative divine with a little d spirit, communicating with the supreme divine, and the two of you together bringing back to your natural body's remembrance exactly what you came here for, what your most excellent life looks like. And then setting in motion the sight, the speech, and then the vibrational sound with faith and maintaining your vibration to go get it. That's what we're to do. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It happened all throughout the Bible, Old and New Testament. So there really should not be any conflict, especially with the church, about the manifestation movement and the law of attraction. Because you see, the word is going to... God said, my word does not return unto me void. And that is divinity speaking. We were created in His image and His likeness. Therefore, our words don't return unto us void. And the moment we finally accept the fact that we are divinity with a small d, that we are co-creators of our lives, that we came into agreement with God before we were ever born this time, and said, this is what I'm going to do. Yep, I know, I'm going to hit this bump in the road, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, blah, 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 but this is what I'm going to do. That's it, cool. I'm going to ordain you to do that. I like the idea. And let me set a good life in front of you at the very end. Or at some point in the middle when you wake up. And understand that He's the best employer you could ever have. Now, if this is rubbing you the wrong way because you're so anti-Christian, well, get over that as well. I don't care. Because I'm not saying anything against you either. I'm not saying anything against anyone. But what I am saying is this, is there's nothing demonic, occultish, or wrong about the law of manifestation, because it works. Now, here at this channel, my inspirational hope is that you will rise out of the dogma, out of the confines, out of the power trip, out of the religion, and come to true relationships so you can manifest your most excellent life. The life of peace, the life of prosperity, the life of abundance that God truly intended for you to be. Whatever that is. Not all of us, I don't think, chose to come down here and be millionaires. Not all of us, I believe, chose to come down here and be billionaires. Or famous, or this, or that. Not all of us did. But I don't believe any one of us should lack for anything. That may mean that money mysterious, the suddenlies happen. You can still live in perfect peace and not be a millionaire. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Sometimes I do think some of these things, if I want to manifest a Lamborghini, well, okay, you can do that. Does that make sense? To me, it doesn't. To me, it's wasteful. However, if that's part of the persona, the character of who we are, because truly this body is housing the real us, and the real us is spirit. It's not this, it's not the flesh, honeys. This is a role we're playing. This is a life we're living that is temporal. It is not eternal. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. That is the law of physics. And we'll get into all that another time. But perhaps that's meant to be a part of your purpose. And who am I to judge it? Just because I wouldn't do it. I see some people that I'm like, oh my gosh, you could be manifesting so much, really nice house and this and that. And they don't want that. Who am I to judge? Their idea of abundance and their contract for abundance or their concept of abundance is very different from mine. Mine's probably very different from yours. And the next, and the next, and the next. My point is this. Manifestation, law of attraction, quantum manifestation, the secret, all of that is based in the principles that were set here by a Supreme Creator who is love and light. At his very essence, at his very being, is love and light. He's not man that he should lie. It's going to work. Just because someone isn't manifesting exactly what you might think they should be, or just because they're not using the same words and terminology that you might, and just because they might not call God the same way that you call him. I'm still a Christian. I love Jesus. My relationship, being a relationship with Jesus as a sacrificial lamb, as Savior, as Lord, that's a very personal relationship. I also understand that Jesus has many names. God has many names. Different in every culture and in each time. But he makes sure that we can all know him. And he wants us to live in abundance. He does not want us to live in lack. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with manifestation. I would hope, though, that your desire to manifest comes from a desire to serve and to help others, and to have better means in order to do so. I hope so. That's my prayer. That is of divine inspiration. However, if it's not, and it's purely selfish, the law of attraction will work. You're probably not going to like to talk to me very much or listen to my videos very much, because I'm definitely coming at it from a spiritual relationship level. I'm not frivolous about it. It's all to a purpose. Right? It's all to a purpose. One can manifest healing in their bodies. It doesn't have to be always money. One can manifest a fabulous relationship between them and their parents, or themselves and whomever, right? You can manifest that. It's having faith for it, believing you're going to receive it, speaking it into existence. Write the vision and make it plain. My people perish for a lack of vision. Are you serious? Let's keep going down the line. It's all those catchphrases. I'm just saying it in a different language. So, I hope that this finds someone's ears, and that you come out of guilt and shame over watching me being a part of this channel, being a part of this movement that's about to get even bigger. And I hope you don't feel bad about seeking to understand how to bring here what is already existing in the future. And the only reason it's in the future is because we are constrained by time. I hope you don't feel guilty about seeking to understand the deeper meanings and the deeper levels of spirit. Whether you're from a similar background as I, or from Buddhism, or Islam, or Judaism, or New Age, spiritualism, whatever. I hope that you can watch these videos and watch this channel and go to places like my website and learn more and grow and enhance and enlighten and ascend, because that truly is where we are intended to go. And that's my life purpose, is to help people ascend to a higher level vibration and to help reset that vibrational set point here on this earth. And that might be a bit more mumbo jumbo than y'all might want, but that's the reality of it, right? These are spiritual laws, and spiritual law always works, no matter what. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really, really do appreciate it. I should have said this in the beginning, but if it's your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome again. Thank you for being a frequent flyer. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share this video with others. And hit the bell so you'll know when I'm bringing out new content. We'll get deep into some true manifestation principles next week. I have needed some time to get some things together. So, until next time, peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. And remember to live life inspired. Have a fantastic day. Namaste. Bye.